Hello folks, Temple here, and I'm going to do a two-part series on the jrpg series. Now, as many of you know, Final Fantasy and Persona 5 are coming out soon, so I figured I would do a couple videos on them, considering that at least two of them are in my top 10 games of all time. But today we'll be talking about the Persona series. Now, the Persona series is the Shin Megami Tensei series. Now, I'm hoping I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. And it's a series that blends RPG with social simulation. What does that mean is like real life scenarios. Now, the whole premises of Persona is that you play a nameless character that goes around to try and, solve mysteries and how certain things have happened. Like in Persona 3, you and your team of misfits must try and stop a event called the Dark Hour from claiming innocent life and causing mayhem. Now, the same thing with Persona 4 has a similar premise, where I'll get into once I do the Let's Play of this game, which I am going to do once I get the Elgato. But for the meantime, you'll have to wait till then. Now, in my view, the Persona series has always been one of my favorites because it breaks from the norm and it really, shows what you can do when you have no boundaries to work with. But when you have things where real life issues come into play, it kind of really changes the perspective of the game. I mean, take Persona 3 again. I know I'm using it as a reference, but it is one of the bigger ones. Is that the only way you could summon your persona to fight monsters is by, and I'm not lying here folks, is to shoot yourself in the head. Yeah, that's right, shoot yourself in the head. Now, fortunately, the guns are summoning weapons, but it's kind of freaky that you think you gotta shoot yourself in the head to get your persona. Whereas Persona 4, you just gotta, tear a card, which is pretty easy. Now, the one thing good about the Persona series, like its other predecessors, like, Lucifer's Calling or the Digital Devil Saga, you can practically, fuse monsters to help you fight against your foes. Now, unlike the other games in the series, like Digital Devil and them, the Persona games require you to fuse monsters to make your monster stronger. But that's only half the problem. The other half is you've got to make friendships with the other people in the game. Like, for example, if you're let's say for example you've got to make friends with someone who's got the Strength Arcana. That's right, they use Arcana folks, I forgot about that, my apologies. They use the Strength Arcana. If you focus on them and they get stronger with your relationships with them, they will become more powerful. Also, in Persona 3, unlike Persona 4, if you muck up a relationship in 3, it will flip the card and it will be harder for you to get back on good terms and try and make better use of them. Because if the strength is flipped, you lose a lot of good abilities. So you really got to think what you're doing, and that's what makes this game fun. Unfortunately, unlike its counterpart Final Fantasy, it is not well known and not in the mainstream, but it is still well sought out and well liked by many people, especially in the niche community and those who like a different type of RPG game. Now, as far as what I think of number 5, that's only going to be on the PS4, I'm kind of upset that I'm not going to be able to play it unless I buy a PS4, but in a good way it stayed where it belongs on the PS4 because it is pretty much like a PS exclusive kind of title, and it does belong where it belongs. Now, the trailer I saw of this game was quite interesting. It showed 5 ball and chains. Now, 4 of them were already filled from the previous characters who are the main ones, which was kind of cool. But the 5th one, is well, who does this belong to? And does it indicate that we're going to get all 5 characters appearing? Not only that, but Persona's also been in an anime, and also it's had a fighting game, believe it or not, called Persona Arena, which wasn't too bad, but it was a bit hit and missy. And also it's also brought in variations of Persona 4, which you got Persona 4 Gold, which is you get nighttime events where in the original game you didn't. And you also got Persona Q, I believe it's called, where it's combining 3 and 4, so kind of funky. And to be honest, the Persona series has always to me been a very good series, and I see it being a good thing if Persona 5 sticks to its roots and not deviate much, and introduce a well balanced gameplay and decent mechanics, because unlike its counterpart, which I'm going to get into pretty soon, it's never left its turn-based origin. It's always kept it, and that's what makes it good. And also keep it to proper life scenarios that are going on in this world, and tackling these issues is pretty a good thing for a game. And I think a lot of people that don't play these games don't tend to see that kind of thing. Also, with the diversity in the whole thing, it really does make a good game to play. I recommend playing it, and I will keep an eye on 5 to see what it's like. I mean, I hope one day I will get to play it if it ever does get ported, but for the meantime, I'll just have to wait and see. Anyway folks, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and my next video will be talking about Final Fantasy. And oh boy, have I got a lot to say about that. So see you later. This is Black Templar signing off.